Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to say that. But anyways, this is a really big war for me. I was supposed to have 10 fights, but I messed up the portals on the mini bosses, so I took 9 fights. But yeah, it was a big war. So first up here we have Atuma, which is, it's a nothing fight for Omega Red. I don't even have a wax here, and it doesn't really matter. But right here, I'm just letting the spores do the work. Yeah, not much to say here. Easy fight. I'm not even going to try to hit him or anything. So he goes down. And then next up, we're going to take this Wong with Photon. So for the first half of the war, I had suicides on, and I just left them on for the Photon fights, but I ended up changing that later on in the war, and you'll see why. But anyways, first Photon fight here, this is going to be the first fight that I ramp up on, which with the tactic, she ramps up extremely quickly, so already ramped up. She's going to start doing some big damage now. Yeah, and Wong, I mean, he's not the most difficult fight. If the fight goes on for long enough that he throws a bunch of special ones, it can get kind of sketchy, but he's dead. So, not much to worry about there. Moving on, we're going to stay on Path 7 in Section 2. And I believe the next fight is going to be Shuri on the knockdown protection node, which I'm also going to take with Photon. Photon's amazing for Shuri because you can parry Shuri, and when you're in pure light, she can't miss. So, just kind of the perfect Shuri counter. Again, I have suicides on still. But after this fight, I kind of started thinking about it. I was like, I don't know if I want to run suicides because I don't know. I lost quite a bit of health during this fight. Some of that was block damage just from blocking specials and stuff, but yeah, the suicide started taking a little bit of a toll. But anyways, as you can see, not too bad. I can parry and heavy, which is super nice for this fight, because otherwise you gotta bait heavies, and I've done this fight with Omega Red before, and it's a pain in the ass, so Shuri makes this fight so much easier. But this is a beefy Shuri. It took a little bit longer than I thought it would to take her down, but she's going down, so you can see my health bar has gone down quite a bit though too, which concerns me, and it's also expensive. I gotta put a bunch of potions in, which I don't like doing because after a while that adds up. So anyways, Shuri's about done right there. Special one to end it. Easy fight. Moving on, we're gonna start taking, oh wait, no, we got Kingpin, which I'm gonna take with Omega Red. Now there was a couple wars back, I took this fight with Omega Red, and I've done this fight I don't know how many times. It's one of the easiest fights for Omega Red to do. Once you build up enough spores, you can just parry and then build up even more spores, and then he just melts. So, like I've done this fight a million times, but a couple wars ago I took this fight, and I'm in the bathroom because that's the only place I can get any peace and quiet in my house with little kids and dogs, and so I'm in there. We have a baby gate. I hear the baby gate go crashing down, and I didn't lock the door because it's my house, My 3-year-old busts through the door screaming about apple juice, and he comes up and he's trying to put his face in between me and my phone, and so I end up dying to that Kingpin, and yeah. That's the first time I've died to Kingpin with a Mega Red, I think, ever, so yeah, this is proof that I can take that fight without any sweat. So here we got Sassy on node 38. I still have suicides on. I figured, you know what, I'll leave them on. This Sassy's going to have a lot of health. I'm going to try to chunk this down as quick as possible. So, starting out, it looks pretty good. We're doing some decent damage. So then right there, he procs the Unstoppable from the global node, so I get tagged a couple times. I had an Invul boost on, so it didn't really do anything. I'm like, alright, well that sucked, but we're fine. So we keep going here. Right there, I had a dropped input. Like, he came in and I blocked and just nothing happened. So, ate a couple hits right there. So I throw a special 2. 5% health gone. So now I'm looking at my health and his health, and I'm like, oh boy. So this is why I was worried about having suicides on, because, you know, Sassy's got a lot of health, so it's going to be a lot of specials, and so I'm like, alright, well, let's just see how this goes. So then right here, I get screwed up by the Unstoppable again. So now I'm watching the Unstoppable a little bit closer. Throw another special. My health drops again. I'm like, shit. So at this point, I'm like, well, we're going to have to start switching things up a little bit. So I think I'm going to start throwing special 3 now, which Photon special 3, she gets regen after throwing the special 3. So I'm like, okay, it does decent damage. I'll get some regen, so it seemed like a good plan. So that's where I start doing. So right here, first special 3. And it actually did more damage than I thought it was going to do, surprisingly. I figured it would do pretty decent damage, but it did a lot more damage than I thought. So it took a good chunk off of him. Then we're just going to keep going in on him right here. I should also say somebody placed a wax for me here, which also makes a huge difference for this fight, because he becomes debuff immune. So I could still parry him. And then he's in Wrath right here, so I'm trying to time these specials and the heavies and everything so I don't get screwed up by the Unstoppable again. So right here I parry. He's got protection up, so I need to drop. There we go. So I knock him down. And yeah, he's regening quite a bit, so I throw another special 3. And it does another really good chunk of damage, like a lot more damage than I thought. I might actually use special 3s against Sasquatch a little bit more, because it did a good job. And then right here, I just need to hit him a couple more times. So as you can see, I don't have a whole lot of health left. And some of that was just from getting tagged a couple times, but suicides did not help. So the rest of the war on the Photon fights, I took suicides off. I'm like, you know what? She has plenty of damage without suicides. I'll just turn them off. So I turned them off, which was a good decision, I think, because I took the boss fight, and I have a feeling with suicides on, I probably would have came out with low health. So right here we got Doom on Conflictor Hazard Shift. Yeah, I love this about Photon against Doom. If you have a shock on you and he goes to heavy you, since it tries to stun you, you just phase and he misses. So he's pretty good against, or she's pretty good against Doom. She also places the Petrify on him, so he doesn't get his aura. Yeah, she's just a really good Doom counter. Not to mention she just does a lot of damage. She also has the Sunder debuff on her heavy, so you can get rid of his critical resistance. You get burst damage after special 1. Like, there's just a lot of ways to take Doom down with her. So yeah, she does a great job. Also being tactic, I don't take any damage from the debuffs, because her debuffs are on long enough that, you know, it reduces the hazard shift. Alright, now we're up on the boss island, so I'm going to take this Abs Man with Omega Red. And I think Omega Red's probably my favorite to use against Abs Man, because you just don't have to deal with his his regen and all that. He doesn't get very many bars of power. So yeah, he pretty much melts before he starts throwing specials at all, which is really nice. Like I say, you don't have to deal with it. So that was my plan. As you can see, he's going down pretty quickly. Right there, I messed up the timing on the heavy, so my degen falls off, which isn't a big deal because I just throw a heavy right here, which also faltered him. I didn't take advantage of the falter, but yeah, easy fight, no problem. Like I said, it's probably my favorite to use against Abs Man. It's just so simple. But yeah, this is my last Omega Red fight, so if I lose health on this fight, it's not a huge deal, but I don't plan on losing a lot of health here. Alright, so that's done. Moving on, we're going to go to this Mysterio on Stunning Reflection and Polka Dot Power, taking it with Photon. Photon doesn't have any damaging debuffs, so I'm not going to gain any power during this fight, but she hits really hard anyways, so again, this is another one that's not too bad. Yeah, and then on top of that, being tactic, she doesn't take any of the damage from his special one, so I can just keep hitting him. Right here, I'm thinking about it, it's like, you know what, I need to keep slow on him so I don't end up, proccing the unstoppable. But then with the special one, I have the Spidey 2099 relic on Photon, so she doesn't proc dexterity, or not dexterity, but she doesn't proc the precision buff every time, so it's on a timer, so if you try to proc it again, it'll proc. So what I was doing was dexing the first part of the special one, which didn't proc a precision, and then I blocked the second part so I didn't get a precision. So that was my way around the unstoppable issue. So I didn't have to deal with the unstoppable at all in that fight. I'm kind of going to do a similar thing on this Rentra fight, which this is a Ascended Rentra, so he's a big boy. He's got almost 1,000,000 health, so... But Photon does a decent job. It's not the fastest fight, but it's really safe. I don't know. I probably could have ran suicide for this fight, but I had already turned him off, and I just didn't feel like turning him back on again, so I just left him off. I figured she had plenty of damage to get the fight done, so... Which I was correct. She had plenty of damage. But yeah, basically, for this fight, I just got into a rhythm and, knock him down, have him throw a special one, knock him down, special one. So I just got into a cycle of doing that. But like right here, because I'm trying to keep it slow on him by knocking him down, but it's not always easy. So the special one, when I was baiting it out, I was trying my best not to like dex at all. I was just trying to back up early enough that it didn't proc the dex, which was working really well for me. So like right there, I didn't proc dexterity at all. Right here, not proccing dexterity at all, which, I keep knocking him down. So the slow is staying up on him at the moment, but I noticed throughout the fight there's a couple times where I didn't have slow on him. So yeah, that was just my way of being safe about the fight. But yeah, pretty simple. It was an easy fight. It was a little bit longer, which was kind of a bummer. If it came down to time, it would have been a bummer, but it didn't. We crushed it this war. We only had 2 deaths. They had 5, but yeah, we had 2, and that's really good. BG1 had a donut, which was awesome. So yeah, we're finally getting our poop in a group here a little bit, which is good for us. But yeah, that's my war. It was a big war. It was really fun. I wish I hadn't have messed up at the mini islands, because I had a Maw fight I was supposed to take, and I didn't get to take it because I'm stupid. So, but I know now in the future. The islands are marked A, B, C on the portal thing, and so I thought it would be, go to island A, then go to island B, then go to island C, but apparently it's supposed to be A, C, B, so, yeah. But, yeah, I'll let this fight finish out. Thank you guys for coming and watching this one. Hopefully I see you guys here again on the next one. Later.